Welcome, Scorpio. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a July, August, and September reading for you. The energy of the full moon in Capricorn is still in full effect, and this is helping you to essentialize the tools, the procedures that you are focusing on in order to make some progress. This can be a follow-up or a deeper dive from the new moon in Capricorn in January of this year, where there was a lot of busyness around pulling something together. And so you have done a lot of clearing out and letting go in order to simplify this. It feels like monumental or purposeful activity that you're engaging in right now. So I'm going to start with July, the beginning of July, the Magician card. This really is speaking about speech. This is about your story. There feels to be an accomplishment here in terms of pulling together fragments of experience, resources that you've always had, particularly your skill set. Your skill set is very diverse, and I feel like it is all to a purpose of some kind of presentation, some kind of creative expression around who you are, what you have to offer, something that you want to change or show the world in some critical way. In the end of July, we have the Three of Pentacles. This is describing the perfect collaboration, and I'm just breaking my own rule and using the word perfect, but I will say holistically complete collaboration. This is more of a process that has been set in motion as a result of what you're producing here. So this is about bringing experts together. This is about elevating the standard of the fragments that are contributing to the whole, working with experts that are all bringing unique expertise, but are in alignment around an ultimate vision and working towards this very elevated standard of excellence, beauty, in making something accessible, accessibility that can be had by anyone. I'm going to clarify July with 3 cards, and the Seven of Swords, that's been showing up for everyone. Don't despair, the Empress, and the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, I'm going to focus on the Empress, the beautiful Empress here, echoing the number 3. That's action that you're taking towards as an expression, really, of your creative will, your power, the inner balance you experience in doing the work and in accepting the rewards and recognition that your efforts have earned, are earning. The Seven of Swords has been showing up in so many ways, so many different ways, but I'm feeling here that part of the story you're telling has to do with the way some people have been dismissed, invisible, not heard, not supported, almost invisible. And so these stories, these tales, these lives are contributing to something that you're presenting. This can be the material of some creative expression. The lives that are basically, it feels like almost the underbelly of life, of a particular kind of cultural experience you've had. It feels like you're giving visibility or voice to those who have been voiceless. And that is part of the motivation towards this very practical process that you have undertaken towards the production of something, towards creating or building something. So this feels as though you're taking your time, you're doing it in the way that allows you to produce what you feel is your absolutely best effort. And this is the metal hitting the road. This is really production, producing things, producing drafts, material, or re-editing, re-looking at things over and over again in the company of collaborators or co-creators. So there's a sense of your expression here, but not your production of that. This feels like a co-creative effort. In the beginning of August, we have the Page of Swords. Interesting. Keeping in mind that August is the height of summer, and in many places, it's when people take vacations, sort of universally, and when maybe some social locations, businesses are closed. So that ritualizes this idea of retreat even more so. And I feel like there is some pause, there is some retreat that you're anticipating, and you're looking for a way to unhinge, release yourself from this process, step back, consider the next step. And you need some distance, and that distance looks like for you witnessing, observing yourself throughout the process, what you're left with, what you're learning about the process, where you are in your own growth towards innovating new ways of producing this thing that you're working on with others. So there's a big question mark over you, not sure what to do. And towards the end of August, the Three of Wands, well, you're busy setting up a vehicle for your creative production, for your work, for your efforts, for a project. You're pulling together, again, the resources, the connections, the people power, and you're turning that towards a less familiar terrain, perhaps new communities, perhaps a different perspective or opportunities where not only can you make a contribution, but you can learn something by stepping away from what is known. This is feeling like a part, your story or your effort is looking at a deeper dive of what has been unknown, what has been invisible, but it's been there. And here you're trying to use that process to free yourself from that specific dimension and to look at new ways of producing a creative expression, a new community you can serve or you can grow from. And I'm going to clarify this with 3 cards again. And we have the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, and the 4 of Swords. I like the swords here because it bears upon your expression, the words you use, the language, the information that is being shared. Interesting that you have a lot of advisement about the next steps you should be taking. Perhaps because of your intercourse with all of the expertise and collaborators, the co-creators you've worked with, they're offering suggestions for next steps, next opportunities. However, the 8 of Cups shows you moving away from a familiar community. I don't think this is this community. I think this is this community. I think you're purging of a certain story or your explication of some condition that has been painful, that reflects a lot of suffering in the invisibility, is something that you are recognizing you've learned a lot from, but you want to move on to another challenge, a new challenge. Perhaps it is another dimension of this experience, because these are holistic experiences. These are thematic, cultural experiences that you are recognizing that there's more that you can do to create something that is significant in the way that you want to contribute to your own satisfaction, your own personal success. So this really comes back to you moving towards success, and that success is a new challenge for you. Challenging yourself to express or experience this in a different way so that you can uh, uh, elevate your experience to one of deeper gratitude, deeper discipline in understanding this experience more comprehensively. I hope this is making sense. The Four of Swords is that place of experiencing gratitude for all sides of a difficult situation. And perhaps this opportunity is in limbing out or drawing out what is positive, joyful, hopeful about a situation that can be fraught, can be heavy, tense, lugubrious. Don't ask me where these words come from, but yeah, I feel like you're kind of purging yourself through this opportunity for a retreat and consideration of new venues, new communities, new places that can offer you a kind of support in exchange for the contribution you make. In fact, this is almost feeling like an opportunity to travel. It feels like a fellowship, some way in which you are taking a known body of work and you're looking to look at it afresh or find a new thread to a greater story. So that opportunity may require you to uh, uh, request some kind of fun or apply to some prestigious award or opportunity for traveling. And this is about a new foundation, a new opportunity from which you can vantage your production to date, initiating a new phase of your creativity. So in September, the beginning, the Knight of Cups, wow, this feels right. This feels like a kind of opening of your heart. It's taken some while to debrief yourself from this, what feels like a huge accomplishment, a huge thing that you can hold in your hand, a tangible product. And the Knight of Cups is like a restorative kind of opening up, looking to have fun, looking for some normalized social interaction. This feels like intense interaction with experts. So you're on your toes all the time. And you're letting yourself down from that as you contemplate. This feels again like an opportunity to travel, to see something with fresh eyes, to relax in uh, the accomplishment of something and to refresh yourself. In the end of September, the Four of Wands. Well, these threes, which are feel like they're about setting up something. Working in an active collaboration, highly functional in a consideration, a plan for a new effort, a new project. Mirroring here the Four, which is about a foundation. This is a new spiritual foundation. This is a new cultural foundation that you are establishing through your partnerships and connections with others. This feels like a communal celebration. This can be the result of something you've accomplished, being celebrated for that. This being seen as the foundation of something that can grow into more. This may be you expanding on an accomplishment in order to create more opportunities for learning and growth, not just for you, but to be celebrated with and by others, so that you all celebrate each other's accomplishments. In the clarification for September, the Hierophant, the Queen of Swords, let's put, the Five of Swords was already there. Okay, we're going to take it. Yes. Okay, a lot of swords here, a lot of thinking, a lot of analysis, a lot of overthinking, perhaps a little worry, some anxiety. How are things going to be received? How are people going to like it? What will people think about it? What do people think I should do? Unsolicited, absolutely, but it nevertheless, the idea of language, words, presentation, parsing through that in a very laborious way is really here. And you're emerging here as the teacher in terms of the way that you are committed to a set of principles. Your principles have been elevated through this expression and the process of bringing this to life. You've made a deeper commitment to not only the process of learning, but the way that you live that and help others to gain access to that. This can be something very official, very institutional, a real teacher. I have no doubt that many of you have been a teacher in the past. It's hard to live in the 21st century without having taught something that you've done along the way. But there is clearly a particular facility you have with language, with words and communication that has you focusing on your commitment to the principles, the excellence, the beauty of what you do, and the emotional import or the spiritual impact that you have as a result of your efforts. Five of Swords is talking very much about the way that you perhaps have avoided something. This can feel like the self-doubt that you've experienced along the way on this pathway, the way in which you have, particularly if you have research, academic, or teaching experience, the way that you may have compared yourself with others or been compared to others. That's what it is. You've been compared to others and you are unconcerned. You have expressed your detachment from what others think or say, but you have suffered as a result. And this kind of rejection is actually what has led you on to establishing, finding your own community, setting up your own community of support and collaboration, those that are willing to imagine with you, create with you, build with you, as opposed to analyzing or picking what you do apart or finding it wanting in some way, not serious, dismissing you. The Queen of Swords is very good at being curious in a way that supports others to share their own truths. And this feels like a facility you have, a way that you may be in a position to interview those that you've worked with, those that you are describing in some way, the population you work with, or the aspect of some kind of cultural life. Your perspective is unique, it's very intense, and it's to the end of building something that supports people like you. So you recognize that your experience can contribute to the development of others like you, that you can celebrate that. This can be the wish fulfillment that constitutes a kind of legacy for you. And that goes to your impact on the world and why that is important, why you're striving personally for that significance, that challenging opportunity to create meaning in your life, give meaning to your efforts. I'm going to finish this reading with a crystal oracle, and I pulled the amber, and the key word is ancestors. Right back here at the beginning. My ancestors are guiding and loving me now and always. I am open to receive their support and wisdom. Wow. Scorpio, you slay me. This is just amazing. Thank you so much. If this reading has resonated for you, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for your support. Until next time, namaste.